YouTube, well, my truck has been running like dog crap, which for any of you Dodge and Ford owners, insert funny comment below. So, I got some stuff. This is AC Delco's upper engine and fuel injector cleaner. Part number is X66P. So I've seen a few videos on YouTube on how to do this and thought I would add mine to it because some of them are missing some information. So big question that I found from all the other videos that I watched was how much. The answer is 13 ounces plus 1/2 gallon of diesel fuel. 13 ounces of this stuff, half a gallon of diesel fuel. Mix it up, pop the return line and the intake line or supply line, whatever you want to call it. Those come off. Half a gallon. Put both the tubes into the container of which your fuel and cleaner mixture is in, and then turn the truck on, let it idle, and no, do not push the fuel pedal to try and make it run faster. Let it idle until you are out of solution, and that should clean all the gunk out of the upper engine slash fuel injectors, meaning the injectors, combustion chamber. I believe it said something about intake exhaust valves too. So should get everything nice and clean. The reason I'm doing mine, my truck had injectors done on it, I want to say probably about 60,000 miles ago. At 60,000 miles, it's got about 127,000 on it right now, and counting. I drive it every day. But the long and the short of it is my truck sat for like 4 years and had probably in that 4 years 100 miles put on it maybe. So there were some problems with it, and since I've been driving it pretty much full time since '09, it's been lots and lots of problems and sorting stuff out. So I will get my tools ready, and we'll get this thing broken apart, put together, and get cleaning these injectors. Stay tuned. The important tools you're going to need to do this is one of these things. This pops off the fancy connectors on the fuel lines. This one has 4 sizes built into it. So you got, well, let's see. All it has is A, B, C, and D. So you got D and B here, and then you got A and C here. I don't really like that one as much. I thought I would like this being more expensive and actual metal and whatnot. What I found in the past is that these guys, one dedicated size to each, seems to work a little bit better. All they do is snap off of here. This one is a 5/8, so we're going to need this guy and this guy. So 1/2 inch. These snap over the fuel lines. You pull it forward, snaps it out. This is a 3/8. So the truck has a 1/2 inch supply line, 3/8 return line. So you're gonna need some 1/2 inch and 3/8 inch fuel hose. And what we're gonna do is I'll walk over to the truck and show you, and then I'll do it and show you the final product. Is back here. There's a supply line and a return line here. So looking in the engine to the right side of the turbocharger next to the brake cylinder, there is 2 lines. You're going to pop those off, put the hoses onto the metal line. So this is where it changes from rubber line. This is that connector I was talking about, so that's the 3/8, 1/2 inch on the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the fuel hose down and through the inner fender, and then set my stuff on my mixture on the ground, and that's why I have like 6 feet of both, so I can do it that way. Put a hose clamp on each of these, and then all we're going to do is just run the primer on the truck, which is this little bulb here. So when we do that, we'll push this bulb down until it gets firm, turn the truck on, and that will get everything going. So I will be back in 1 second, and I'll have this all rigged up and ready to roll. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. So as you can see on here, there's a metal ring. So what happens is these are like safeties, so they actually snap on and then they click onto this. And now my hands are all full of diesel. So you'll see these sitting here like this. So there's 2 prongs at the bottom down by my index finger. You pop those off, hopefully. Perfect. Well, at least it hit the ground. So anyway, as I was saying, there's 2 prongs, so you spread those apart and then you slide this up and off of that collar. Now I'm going to try and get down in there and demonstrate. So maybe I'll just show you with this. So this is the blue one. This is for the 3/8. So what you do is you snap this. So right now this doesn't come off. This guy here snaps over like that. You push it down. Now if you'll listen, just like that, you hear that click. So now the line is loose. So all that blue tool is doing is pushing in on all those teeth that hold it on. So that's how that guy works. I'm going to try and get in here. It's not exactly the easiest task. But yeah, those go like that. I'll get that one off camera because I need to climb up in there. One other thing to note, if you're like me, my truck has a fast fuel system on it, so I will need to come in here. There's a piggybacked fuse here. I'll be popping this out. That disconnects my fast, just like that. My fast now has no power to it, so I don't have to worry about fuel spewing out of everywhere while the truck's running. So after getting some furniture out the way, i.e. turbo outlet boot, you can kind of see what we're getting at here. We got the 1/2-inch supply line on the bottom, 3/8 return line on the top, and that's where those get bolted up. Obviously we can't run the truck with no turbo, so I'm going to hook that back up and we'll get ready to roll. So we started with 16 ounces. As you can see, we're down to 3, and we've got a 1/2 gallon of diesel fuel in this clean, yes, clean, I washed it before I did this. So now we're going to bring this guy over here, and we're going to take this line, plug it in like that. We're going to take this line, plug it in like that, so that those are both ready to roll, and away we go. So the truck is running. There's the stuff. So I had to prime it twice now. It died on me twice, but it's moving in the right direction, so we'll let her run until she's empty. So there she is. It's all cleaned up, and took her for a spin. Went around the block. By around the block, I mean, I don't know, around the country mile block. You know, take a mile out of town, hang a right, run that for a mile, hang a right, run that for a mile, hang another right, and you're back in town, kind of thing. So took her for a little spin. Did some like kind of sort of, I would call like regular acceleration, some medium acceleration, some fast acceleration, and seemed to run good on all of them. I'm not going to go and tell you guys that it was like a 1,000,000 horsepower increase, but just from how it was running, seems to run a little better. One thing that I did notice that cleared out entirely was that when my truck would come back down to idle, it would do this little like bum 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 bum, and it would kind of like, it was kind of a choppy idle when it would come from, you know, driving 55. You start getting on the brakes a little bit, you pull up to a stop sign. When it would get to the stop sign and you come to that stop, it would kind of have like a choppy idle, just getting it the rest of the way to idle, if that makes sense. And every stop that I made tonight came down to idle, good to go, and the choppiness was completely gone. I let it sit for a little bit, fired it back up, and I had absolutely zero haze or smoke, which I usually get a little bit of. So I'm just gonna flip this on real quick, like fast is good. Fires right up. And none of the crap that it was doing before. So I think that it was well worth the like $20 that I spent on it. It's pretty cheap. Ordered it on Amazon and showed up. I was planning on doing it Friday or Saturday. It showed up Friday. I was planning on doing it Saturday. Ran into a couple things. Got it done. It took me, I would say, just about 2.5 hours to do, considering that I did some filming and slowed everything down a little bit. If I would have just jumped right into it, I think I could have had it busted out in like 2 hours or so. But it went pretty smooth. Pretty happy with how the truck runs right now. I'm going to run it up to Madison tomorrow. I got a job I'm working on up there. So tomorrow on the highway, we'll see what she does. Anyway, that's how to clean your injectors with the AC Delco stuff. And hope that you learned a thing or two and realize that it's not that hard to do. And even if you're not super mechanically inclined, if you go pick up the couple dollars worth of tools to do it, it's something that you can get done on the truck, and I'd recommend it, especially on the earlier Duramaxes that are known for their fuel problems. So enjoy. Thanks.